This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
Okay, we live in the crib, Vibin With Veto. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube at Vibin With Veto. Also follow us on the Instagram at Vibin With Veto. You already know the slogan, we vibrating higher, always chasing purpose over popularity. Check us out each and every Monday on the Big Facts Network. Shout out to the team. I have somebody in the building that, bro, we go way back, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about extremely back, bro.
Is it like Spit Your Game back?
Spit Your Game. Yeah, of course.
That's like 06.
Bro,
07.
I remember you were outside of Figure 8. You had Travis Porter. You were promoting Travis Porter. Before Travis Porter was like a thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Figure 8 was on the west side. You know, Travis Porter's from the east side.
Yep.
You were everywhere promoting those guys, bro. And I think we met before that, but it was just like, just seeing you and how you just put the hard work for your artists and just different people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, everybody knew who CEO Charlie was. And it was like an honor to be like, oh, if CEO Charlie stamped you, bro, you gonna blow. You know what I'm saying? Bro, thank you for coming to vibe with me, bro.
Well, I'm stamping the podcast.
Let's get the podcast gonna blow then. Right.
It's already blown.
Yeah, facts. Introduce yourself to the people for the ones that don't know you.
People, my name is Charlie Rocket, formerly known in Atlanta as CEO Charlie.
Facts.
I've lived a life of dreams, whether it's managing artists like 2 Chainz and Travis Porter and Young Dolph, or wanting to chase my dreams and become a Nike athlete and do crazy things like sell my house and move into a bus and help kids with cancer, or being, commercials with LeBron James, or be on the cover of magazines and, all this cool stuff. I'm a dreamer.
Facts.
That's what it's like being from Atlanta. We dream, we create, we influence the world. And I take that Atlanta spirit with me everywhere I go. Man, and it feels good being back and be able to talk to you, because we've been at it for 20 years
20 years, bro.
We look way too young to say 20 years.
Facts, bro. I have $1 million question for you, bro. Everybody that graces the show, I have the opportunity to ask them. Now I have the opportunity to ask a friend.
Yeah.
How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail?
I mean, honestly, I don't know how not to answer that question, because that's how I've always thought. But that is the question that people need to ask themselves, because that limiting belief, that like reality that sets into people's minds, it blocks so many dreams. I've happened to be, through practice, very good at kind of brainwashing myself to believe that it's impossible for me to fail. I actually, when I go into any dream, I believe it's going to be easy. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, me and my girl right now, we're like brainstorming up this like genius business idea. Like, it's genius. Mm-hmm. One of the most successful businesses I've ever done in my life. And there's this thing that happens when you dream. There's this idea phase right at the beginning of the dream where you're like, ooh, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And it's like you feel so high. Mm-hmm. But then something happens quickly afterwards where reality sets in. And you're like, but what about this? And then what about this? Facts. And then how much will this cost? And then what if this doesn't work? Right. And that's called like the valley of reality. Repeat, that's the valley of reality. And we have to build a bridge and ignore that valley, because when we're dreaming, we go high, but that valley, that'll take you out the game.
Right.
You'll like get paralyzed and you'll stop dreaming, and you'll start thinking about all these things that can go wrong, when in reality, it's guaranteed you're going to be successful. You just got to solve all the little problems. But the thing I do is I always say it's going to be easy. Oh, no, that's going to be easy. Like, let's not even worry about that right now. Like, let's just keep moving forward with the dream. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Wow. So that was beautifully said. How do you train your mind to think like that, for the people that struggle with that, battle with that? Because I dream big too as well. Yeah. The dream has gotten me here.
Yeah.
But how do you train your mind to do that?
So most of us are struggling.
Right.
Like, it's a human thing to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for goodness sakes, like, we're all dying. Like, that's our reality. We are all racing to our death. We are decaying. Like, we were born and we will die. So that is a negative thing. And that's our reality every day. So as humans, we are naturally trained to look at negative things that are happening. Something is going to attack me. I need to survive. Oh, this person's saying this, that person's saying that. So we have to combat that every single day, because that's no way to live.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about all the things that can go wrong. So how to be positive, that is a practice. And the very first thing you do to practice is you need proof that the most successful people in the world have experienced exactly what you're experiencing. For example, go listen to like a podcast with a very successful person. Or if you just look at a story like a Tyler Perry or an Alicia Keys, okay, or a Steve Harvey. These are some of the most successful people in the world, and they were sleeping in their car. Sleeping in their car. So if I'm struggling and I keep listening to these stories of people who have made it, they're just like me. Oh, maybe my struggle means, oh, I'm just like them.
Mm-hmm.
So really changing what you consume is a really big thing to give you proof that it is easy. Because I drive down the street. I live in Malibu, California, right? I drive down the street, and every house between Malibu, California and Hollywood is like a $5 million house. Every house. And I'm like, that's a lot of people. It must be easy if that many people can do it. If 150,000 people, every house, 200,000 people, 500,000 people, a million people, it must be easy.
Facts.
You see how you can kind of change your brain?
Absolutely.
If you look for proof that it's easy, you'll find it. If you look for proof that it's hard,
Facts.
you'll find it.
Wow.
So I just try to practice. Okay, let me listen to some podcasts. This is proof it's easy. Or they did it, so I can do it. So those are my little tricks.
Facts. So you said one thing that stuck with me right there. You were saying what you consume, right?
Yeah.
You were in the music industry,
Yes,
right? Take us back to that. Like, take us to that journey and stuff like that, because the music industry can be good and they have the bad parts of the music industry too as well. Did you face any what adversities did you face along your journey to become who you were as CEO Charlie, to then have street execs and plethora of artists and stuff like that too as well?
Yeah. So the adversities started early, straight out the gate. I started off as Soulja Boy's cameraman. And that was such a blessing for me, because it put me kind of on the map as like, I had a media outlet, spityourgame.com. So I'm Soulja Boy's cameraman. He's the #1 artist in the world. So that was a big opportunity for me. But I wasn't really getting paid much money. And I wasn't even getting paid on time. So I was struggling in my position. And then I get fired. Being fired from such a cool position, which was my identity, was tough, because it's like, this just, everything's ripped away from me.
Right.
Everything, just like that, gone.
Right.
But I looked at it as a blessing, because I'm the lowest paid person on the team. And I know I'm special. I know I'm more talented than what my bank account says. So I decided in that moment that this was going to be a winning streak. I would have never quit this job. So now that I got fired, now I'm going to be a manager.
Right.
That's when I decided to start my management career. I'm going to be one of the best managers in the world. So thank you, Soulja Boy. Thank you for firing me. So now I'm not a victim. Now I'm like feeling victory.
Yeah, facts.
You see? Like I'm like on a winning streak. Like this is a win. So I signed a girl group. And I got a taste of like success. It was the first big check I ever had, because I got him a record deal with Interscope Records, and the girl group was Vistoso Bosses. You remember them?
Yeah.
And they ended up firing me.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, they left me for Sierra's manager. So I was like on top of the world with Soulja Boy, knocked down. On top of the world with Vistoso, knocked down. And that's when I like was really struggling to find the win in this, but I knew there had to be something. And I had a vision about signing a guy group. And I just saw something, and I found Travis Porter. Their name was Them Hard Hitters at the time.
Facts.
Changed the name they changed their name to Travis Porter in my mom's basement.
I want to ask you about that too. How they got the name? But continue.
And I mean, I put on my suit. I passed out CDs. I did the MySpace comments every day. Like, I didn't really have money, so I had to exchange my energy to become successful. Like, so it was like, I remember we had this show one time in Gwinnett County. No, it was in Cobb County.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time we were on a flyer, party flyer.
Mm.
And so this is a big deal.
Yeah.
We go to the show, and there were like 8 people in the club. And my heart just dropped. I was like, this is the most embarrassing thing I had ever felt, because this was our show and nobody showed up. And so I got furious. And that fury and that anger brought something out of me. Mm. And I went to that DJ's MySpace page who was throwing the party. And I knew everybody who followed him. I think it was DJ Charlie Brown.
Okay.
I think everybody who followed him lived in that area of Cobb County. So I went and messaged each person who followed him. It was like thousands of people.
Everybody.
I need them to know who Travis Porter is. Like, I don't have money. So I need to do something to get my artist famous. So it's like, I just need them to know who I am. So the next time we go to this club, they show up because they just don't know who Travis Porter is. So I'm doing MySpace comments on every profile. Next thing you know, after like 6-7 hours, I noticed people would see a MySpace comment, they would see Travis Porter's name, and then they would follow Travis Porter. So the more comments I left, the more followers Travis Porter got. Mm. And then next thing you know, I'm doing comments like 10 hours a day, every day. I'm going DJ by DJ, community by community, party promoter by party promoter. And our followers went from like 10 followers a day to like thousands of followers a day. All because I'm just running this play that costs me no money, but it's making my artist more popular. Oof. Because it's almost like the equivalent of like passing out a flyer. If more people just know about this, they'll like it. Because I know the music's good. Mm-hmm. So next thing you know, we're getting thousands of followers a day. And every single person who followed us, I left a comment. So it was like, I had this system on my laptop. And it'll be like, I would hit the control button and I'll click on every person who followed. And it created like thousands of little tabs. And then I would like click on the tab and then boom, scroll down, paste, copy, paste, delete or exit out the tab. And I'll do the next tab. And it was like, I was going like this. It was almost like a machine. And I was like, boom, paste, boom, paste, boom, paste, boom, paste. And I'm leaving these thousands of comments. The next thing you know, Travis Porter is the #1 unsigned group on all of MySpace.
Goddamn.
And that was what I could do because I didn't have money. So I had to do something. And then that went from MySpace comments to CDs, from CDs to driving to radio stations, driving to radio stations to all the way turned up, took off. That was taken away from us. Put out Streets Are Us, CDs every night. Boom, Go Shorty Go, Make It Rain, Bring It Back, A-Ladies, #2 song in the country, signed 2 Chainz, signed off, signed Bankroll, Open Street Execs. And it was just like, I worked really hard. Me and my business partners and my artists, we all worked our butts off.
Dang. Let's clap it up for that. Charlie, I want to ask you this too as well, because you're not doing the music now. Do you still have a relationship with Travis?
Yeah, of course. I talked to Travis. Man, let me tell you.
Okay.
Travis called me about a year ago, and we went out to the desert in Joshua Tree.
Okay.
Outside of California. It's a very magical place called Joshua Tree, California. And rented an Airbnb, and we did like a nice little lock-in and just envisioning the future. And man, they had a hell of a year this year too. Like, yeah. Like Travis Porter is back. Travis Porter is actually back.
They're back.
I talk to them all the time. It's amazing seeing them back to work because everybody loves Travis Porter. Nobody asked Travis Porter to fall off. Nobody. Some artists, they fall off because we don't want to hear them anymore. Everybody loves Travis Porter.
Everybody loves Travis Porter.
Always has.
Yeah.
They did not want them to go away.
What happened? What happened, Charlie? Like, what do you feel like when you left the music too as well, do you feel like that kind of made them a little bit discouraged because they lost their big piece of their support system too as well? You know,
I'm not sure. with Travi, I think that there's a lot of growing. They were kids. It was a whirlwind. There wasn't a measuring stick. And now they're like intelligent, grown men. They're very smart. And they're good people. Nobody can say anything bad about them three. So I think it's divine that they're having a comeback. But I can't really speak on what I think is a problem, but I know everything's perfect in the time, and it's all divine.
Facts.
So, I mean, I miss the hip-hop business. I've been out 8 years.
Is this your first time saying this on the podcast that you miss it?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
No, but I'm such a fan. I study the game every day. I have thoughts and philosophies every day of exactly to the T how I would bring it back if I got back in the game. To the T, I think I know exactly what Atlanta should do to get back on top. I feel like I know the exact answer.
Wow. So with that being said, do you have people from the music industry still reach out to you for
Every
advice?
Every day. And it's been speeding up the past year. I get so many phone calls of people trying to recruit me back into the game. And they know how much I love it. But normally what I say is, I'll help. I'll just do it for free. I don't want any money. I just want to help.
When you say do it for free, does that take away the level of expectation that they will need from, like, want
Yeah,
from
because
you?
I'm not going to be a manager again. My life, I'm living a dream. And my ultimate dream is to be a free man, but I love making dreams come true for other people. That's what made me a good manager. I love fulfilling a dream for my artists. I love being of service. And I think so many managers today, they don't realize that that's their job. It is our job to work for these artists. Yes, they might be signed to us, but that doesn't mean we're big boss. You might look at like a Coach K or like a CEO Charlie, and it's like, no, like they're bigger than the artist, or like the artist assigned to them. No, it's our job to be of service. That's why I pass out the CDs. I wanted my artists to be happy so they would never leave me.
Absolutely.
And it's like my job to fulfill their dream. But like I said, I miss it.
Facts.
And it's hard to sit on the sideline and watch Atlanta or even the entire hip hop business struggle, because it's a dark time. It's the first time, like this year was the first time since 1993 hip hop didn't have a top 50 record in the country. Since 1993. Where in 2018, hip hop had, I believe, 60% of the top 100 records that year. 60. That's insane. That's unbelievable that one little genre can have 60% market share of top 100 records. And this year it's almost nothing. Yeah. And I think I know why.
Wow.
It's going to sound counterintuitive. Record labels won't like it. Artists won't like it. Producers won't like what I have to say. But we need a black market again. Hip-hop always had a mixtape circuit. There was always a flea market. There was always a DatPiff. There was always a live mixtape. That is a black market. That is a way that artists give away music for free. That means you're not making money, but that's what we used to do. We used to give away our music so that we can have hours with a listener. Think about it today. Streamers, they've taken over. Why?
Thanks.
Because the audience has so much time spent. Let's call it time spent is the common denominator.
Okay.
Streaming for hours every day, 30 days out of the month. That's time spent high. Why do you think streamers have fan bases? When you were young, how much time spent did you spend with that Jeezy CD?
All day.
All day, all night. But you got to look what has been ripped away from us.
The music.
Free will. We have too much free will, which gives a disadvantage to hip hop right now. So used to, we only had a few CDs that came out a year. That's why we would ride to the whole Jeezy CD for a year.
Facts.
It would be in our car. Boom. But now we have access to millions and millions of songs that come out every day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I might listen to this song one time. I might listen to that song a couple times. I might listen to this song. But artists aren't putting out albums. So the time spent is down. They're not putting out mixtapes. So time spent is down. You might get a minute of an artist on Instagram, and then they'll put out 7 songs a year. Time spent is down. We're used to, how many Gucci Mane mixtapes were there?
Whew.
How many Travis Porter mixtapes were there?
A lot.
How many Future mixtapes were there? How many Lil Wayne mixtapes were there? How much time spent did we spend with an artist? You remove the mixtape circuit, time spent goes down. Now it's scary for an artist to put out an album. Why? Because if you put out an album and it doesn't do good, what happens?
I mean,
it's over.
It's over. Yeah, we don't want to hear it no more.
Record labels done with you.
Yeah.
Fans are done with you. So now artists don't even want to put out albums. You can't put out mixtapes. You can't put out albums. And you're just doing Instagrams and TikToks. That's very little time. So time spent is down. Why do you think there's not fans for hip hop anymore? We got to get time spent up. I would say form a coalition with a bunch of artists and tell the fans we're dropping mixtapes again and we're not doing it on Spotify. Listen, I don't care. I don't care where I listen to a Future mixtape.
Facts.
You could put Future mixtape on Spotify, but if Future says live mixtapes, that piff, I'm going. But what if Future said it, Quavo said it, Travis Porter said it, DJ Drama said it? We'll just get used to going to live mixtapes to hear new music. Now that's giving away music, which is bad for business, but it's good for business if you ask me. Why? Because there isn't a pipeline for artists to try new sounds with new producers and test, experiment. There's no testing anymore. Artists in Atlanta used to do mixtapes and they didn't put a bunch of effort into it, and it was their best music.
Facts.
And then their albums were like quality, and not as much of a fan as your album.
Right.
But your mixtape was my favorite.
Right.
So it's like we got to get artists back to having fun. We got to get that time spent up. So these are my philosophies. I would bring mixtapes back. I would actually get off of DSPs. I would go back to a live mixtape, and I'll get everybody doing it, and the fans will be happy. Fans will be like, thank God artists are able to.
Yeah.
We used to drop mixtapes 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah.
Do you know how happy fans would be?
Yeah.
If there was like 4 Future mixtapes this year, and we don't know the sales. It's not on DSP. It's not on Spotify. So Future can't even have his career hurt. Quavo, right? Quavo has a lot of potential to be extremely relevant. But if he drops a project right now, it might be over if it doesn't do good. But what if he dropped 5 mixtapes? And then the fans were like, oh, I like this song. Then it takes off. Then the record label gets behind it. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, all these songs are circulating because he got to experiment. 2 Chainz, after his second album, the album flopped. It wasn't a huge commercial success.
The second album.
Boats 2.
Okay, but the first 2 that he dropped.
No, Boats 1 did amazing.
Boats 1. Okay.
Boats 1 did amazing.
Okay.
Boats 2, mediocre.
Okay.
So things had slowed down a little bit for us. And then 2 Chainz, very smart artist, extremely smart artist, knew it was time to drop some mixtapes because we got to fight our way back. Okay. Time spent. Okay. So dropped Freebase, dropped Daniel Son Necklace Dawn, dropped there was like 3 or 4. Oh, El Chapo Jr. And then there was another one. I forget the name of it. But dropped like 4 mixtapes back to back to back to back. What happened?
He went right back up.
He caught the record Big Amount. I got a big amount. I took a different route. Then he caught Watch Out Little Bitch. Then he caught Good Drink. And then his biggest commercial success, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. Those mixtapes, free, not making money, led into his biggest commercial success. But this is a pattern. This is not unique to 2 Chainz. Before Carter 3, how many mixtapes, how many droughts were released?
Yeah, so many droughts.
Hey, time spent. You want to have your biggest album? drop the most amount of free music? Lil Wayne. You want to have the biggest part of Gucci Mane's career. What led up to it?
Mixtapes.
Mixtape after mixtape after mixtape. Future, biggest part of his career. What led up to it? Monster,
Yeah.
Pico, mixtape. People forget. Future's first album was not a commercial success.
Yeah.
He was dating Sierra. He was making a little bit of love music. They broke up and he went Monster, Pico. He went back to back to back mixtapes. Out of here. So you want to make more money? We got to get the time spent with the fans way up.
Right.
Mixtape. I'm saying the words mixtape. People might not perceive what I'm saying right now because I'm always a little bit in the future.
Right.
But if we can get artists giving music to their fans again and it not run through a record label, the fans will go where you tell them. If everybody's saying Dat Piff, we're going to go to Dat Piff. If everybody says live mixtapes, or make a whole new one. If everybody's saying go on there, for me as a fan, I don't really care. I'm clicking a button, that thing's playing. I don't care if it's Spotify. Or
Right.
I'm clicking a button. I
Yeah,
want to hear the
absolutely.
music.
Facts.
So that's what I would do. I tell people this, and it's like it goes in one ear and out the other.
Let me ask you this too as well. So EPs, right? Do you feel like EPs kind of took away from the mixtape thing too? Because
I don't like EPs.
Exactly.
It's lazy.
Right. So
8 songs, I'm mad.
that's what I'm saying.
I want 20 songs as a fan.
Right. So because mixtapes, right? You have the DJ, da 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 da. When EPs came out, it's mini albums. So people feel like
There's no skit. There's no nothing.
7 songs, 8 songs. Like,
Lazy.
so we should do away with EPs completely.
I've never liked EPs.
Okay.
To me, when an artist releases an EP, I'm like, oh, you're being lazy. I want 15 songs. I want 20 songs. I want skits. I want creativity. I want energy. 8 songs, I probably already heard 2 of them. So it's really 6 songs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I want a project I can bump top to bottom. I want it to be a classic.
Facts.
Name an EP that's ever been a classic. Exactly.
If you got to think about it, then yeah.
I can
Facts.
tell you a million mixtapes and a million albums that have been classics, but EPs aren't classics.
Let me ask you this, Charlie, too, because I don't think anyone ever asked you this, bro. Where was your mind frame like when artists that you managed passed away, like Bankroll Fresh and like the Young Dolphs and just different things like that? Like how did that affect you on your way out of the music too as well? Because you were battling your own things, but when you were in it, how did that affect you?
Well, when I was in the music business, Bankroll Fresh had passed. Dolph was in the middle of his war.
Okay.
So there was almost a lot going on there. It was devastating, man. I mean, think about Bankroll Fresh, man. I'm talking about the brightest light. I'm talking about when he came into our life, all of our spirits lifted. Bro, this man was the most positive, infectiously positive, bright light. Like, I'm a positive person. I can't. Bankroll Fresh lifted everybody up, man. He loved even the way he treated my mother. Like, it's like this man was such a good man, kind heart, like positive. Everything out of his mouth was positive. To lose that, man, that's devastating, man. And for him, and everybody knew it. He was what Atlanta really needed at that time because he was motivational. He was from the street. So at this time, him and Dolph both. Dolph, such a smart businessman, such a inspiration. So many of the businessmen I know today, they love Dolph, like the way people love Jeezy because it's business. He was a businessman, and that flowed through the music. But man, I mean, it was a tragedy to lose Bankroll. It was quite inspirational how my business partner, I actually learned a lot from Al. So during this time, our studio had so many different instances of negative things happening. And I was thinking it was time to maybe close up shop. And Al was like, we don't retreat. I was like, what? He's like, we're putting our flag in the ground and we are staying here. And I was inspired by that. I'm like, God, dog, like everything in the world is going wrong right now. And he's like, no, we are not retreating. We are standing here and we're going to stand here strong. And that was a lesson in my life. So shout out to Al.
Yeah, shout out to Al.
But man, it was scary. It was devastating. It was like we don't know our future. We don't know. I mean, at the time, the lady who was running for mayor against Andre Dickens, she was trying to pass a law to close down 75% of studios in the city because of us as street execs.
Damn.
She proposed a law to close down the studios that are near residential areas, and that would have shut down 75% of studios in Atlanta. So it was like very scary time,
right?
You know, but we survived. I feel like Bankroll was an angel looking over us.
Absolutely.
And I'm really glad that the world, like after the fact, like while we're trying to work Bankroll as an artist, we felt like he was a little slept on. But come to find out, the whole time people were watching and people loved Bankroll. I didn't know how much people loved Bankroll, but I'm glad, and I'm sure he saw it.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, like people really were paying attention.
Facts. It's a picture of him and Nipsey. That goes around online, and I just see that picture and I just look. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of like good people. You know what I'm saying? Especially artists that were like trying to be more than just our artists. You know what I mean? Just be a influence. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, but it's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
for sure. Let's segue. Let's talk about a little bit about your life. You know what I'm saying? At the pinnacle of your music career, managing artists like 2 Chainz, as we discussed.
Yep.
You were diagnosed with a brain tumor.
Yep.
Can you walk us through like the moment you realized that success didn't equate to like fulfillment at that time?
You know, at that time, man, I had everything. I mean, we had just won a Grammy. I remember even listening to the Hot 107 at 7. We had 6 of the 7 songs in the city. Like, we had the biggest studio in the city. I had the houses. I had the cars. I had everything. And having a brain tumor and being 300 pounds and being scared for your life, you really don't think about the things you accomplished. You only think about the things you wish you had accomplished. And there was always this dream I had when I was a kid. I would lay in bed, looking up at the ceiling with my basketball, and I would I would imagine a world where I was an athlete, where I was actually fit, and I was in commercials with Michael Jordan, and I was on the cover of magazines.
Thanks.
I would see that in my head, but I never knew why I was trapped in this like short, white, fat body. And I'm like, how am I supposed to have that dream? And I had my basketball coach at school. I tried out for the JV team.
For sure.
And I didn't make it. But my basketball coach said, Charlie, your dream, I believe in it. But remember, if the front door is closed and locked, look for the back door. And if the back door is locked, find a ladder and go through the window. There's always a window. And at the time, I didn't really know what he meant.
Right.
But my dream was to be an athlete. But I'm not going to play for the Lakers. And I'm not going to be in the Olympics.
Right.
So that's the front and the back door. I just had to find the window. And the window for me was my brain tumor and my inspirational story of leaving the music industry and reversing a brain tumor and losing 125 pounds and doing that Ironman and doing 5 marathons and riding my bicycle across America. That was the window. That was a different way of becoming a Nike athlete. Nike saw a video that I made. Nike flew me up to campus. Nike said that this video that you made inspired us to change the direction of our entire company. And what we created together was the Colin Kaepernick commercial of 2019. And that dream of mine when I was laying in my bed, imagining a world where I was an athlete in commercial with Michael Jordan, I was in a commercial with LeBron James, Serena Williams. It was the biggest Nike commercial in history. It was a Super Bowl commercial. I was in it. I got to win an Emmy, and I got to help Nike create the biggest thing they've ever created, and it was named after me, and I was on the cover of Runner's World magazine. Every dream that I saw when I was a kid, it was real. It just wasn't the front door. It wasn't the back door. I had to find a ladder and go through a window, and every bad thing that happened in my life, even the most bad thing that ever happened in my life, a brain tumor, it was a gift. It was for me to achieve my dream. So I'm grateful for the brain tumor.
Absolutely.
It turned into a winning streak for me.
Wow. How do you keep dreaming, right? When you have reached such a undescribable, you know what I mean, place in life. You know what I mean? You have done everything that you ever dreamed about. How does a person keep dreaming at that point, right? Or what are some things that inspire you daily to say, you know what? I might want to embark on that journey too as well.
See, you see me as CEO Charlie, who's achieved all this stuff. I only see myself as a child. I don't see myself the way other people see me. When I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like I've done any of that stuff. I still have this like childlike imagination where I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. That's how you keep dreaming. If you lose your curiosity, you're not going to dream. I want to see what it's like to experience things for the first time. I'm curious, what's that like? What's it going to be like having the biggest book written of our generation? What's it going to be like having one of the biggest beverage companies in the world? What's it like walking into a store and seeing my coconut water company? And then I got to experience that. We had the biggest beverage launch in Sprouts history. It's a grocery store called Sprouts.
Mm-hmm.
And we outsold the biggest beverages in the world. And I'm like, wow, like I can walk into a store and buy my product. Now I want to walk into a store and buy my book, or I want to walk into an airport. What's that like? What's it like having everybody being like, wow, that book changed my life. I want to experience that. So my curiosity is always high. So people have to remind themselves to be curious. But I think my secret to success is I never feel like I've done anything. I know I'm smart. I know I'm talented. But I always put myself at square one, right at the starting line of like, okay, I need to go figure this out.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Damn. Okay, cool. Damn, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing, bro. Can I ask you one question though too as
You
well?
can ask me anything, man.
It's like I got a list of them, bro.
Okay.
And we just flowing. But I want to kind of shift back into something that we were talking about too as well.
Okay.
CEO Charlie to Charlie Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
It marked a significant shift. What internal transformation like accompanied like the change of your identity too as well?
Man, bro. You see my outfit?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm doing this literally right now in real time. I'm writing a book. So I changed my wardrobe. This is my author look. When I was CEO Charlie, I wanted to become a businessman. I wore a suit. When I wanted to become Charlie Rocket, I gave myself a name, Charlie Rocket. Colorful clothes, bandana, sunglasses, colorful. That's my athlete look. I want to be an author. This is my author look. Have you ever heard of the Batman effect?
Tell me about it.
It's a psychology study that the University of Michigan did in 2016. And they used this test with kids. They took 3 groups of kids and they put them into a room to solve an unsolvable puzzle to see how long it would take for these kids before they gave up. So first group of kids, they send in, it's your job to solve this puzzle. And they start the timer. And these kids, they gave up after about 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Next set of kids, they say, who's your favorite superhero? One of the kids said, Batman. I said, okay, good. Okay. You're Batman. It's your job to solve this puzzle. They started the timer. 20 minutes. Just with the identity in their mind that they're Batman, they didn't give up as fast on a hard task. Now, the third group of kids walked in and one of the kids said, My favorite superhero is Batman. So they gave that kid a Batman outfit. Said, "You're Batman. Solve the puzzle. An hour." What does this tell us? This tells us that the further we separate from our identity to become someone new, the longer we'll last through hard times. For example, I wanted to become an athlete. I gave myself an athlete. I romanticized with this idea of becoming a new person, because the version of myself that I am, I've always been losing. But who I want to become, I want to win. So if I become that person, I want to be an author, I'm going to wear the outfit. If I want to be an athlete, I'm going to wear the outfit. I'm going to give myself the name. If I want to become a businessman, I'm going to wear the outfit, give myself a name. I want to become someone new. And that's been a big secret for me in achieving my dreams. Wow. And so becoming Charlie Rocket, it's a very childlike thing to do. Like, I gave myself a superhero name. But in Atlanta, we actually do it quite a bit. We give ourselves names. Mm-hmm. We give ourselves outfits. We give ourselves this new identity. And that's fun. But as adults, we got to make sure we allow ourselves to do that. Wow. We don't have to be adults. We can have some fun with it. Right. So that's what I would recommend for people listening.
Thanks. Do you feel like life kind of like takes us away from our inner childhood? Like, because of like, you know what I mean? Things that we kind of go through. Yeah, man. Through our life.
There was this old parable about this golden Buddha. And there was this town in Thailand. And they had this beautiful golden Buddha in the middle of town. And there was an opposing army coming. So this like fear. And they didn't want to let that opposing army know they had a golden Buddha. So they covered it with mud and stone, and it didn't look valuable at all. And so hundreds of years later, there's a kid sitting on the golden Buddha, and it cracks, and he sees a little bit of gold peek through. And nobody in the town knew that this was golden, and he started taking off all the mud and all the stones, and it was this big golden Buddha. But that tells us something about ourselves. We are golden. But as life is attacking us, we get scarred. And we get so scarred that it gets built up and we forget that we're golden. But sometimes there's something in our life that cracks us. And that rock bottom moment can show us, and it can be a gift. And that rock bottom moment can show us that we are golden inside, and we need to peel back all that scarring and remind ourselves that we are valuable. And so, yeah, man, like, all these opposing things that are attacking us, that's just called life. Right. But we are golden on the inside.
Facts. Damn. Hey, can we clap it up for that too as well? Look, Charlie, I want you to put yourself in my body for a second, right? Okay. Tomorrow, right? I jumped in. So let me take it back. April of last year, I started doing Muay Thai. Just defensive. You know, I wanted to do some things. As a child, I was bullied. You know what I mean? So this was my inner child. I was like, you know what? I want to do something. You know what I'm saying? Something constructive. I'm getting older and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, I have my first tournament, right? My first Muay Thai tournament. Tomorrow. As in tomorrow. I have my first Muay Thai tournament. What should I tell myself? If you're me, looking in the mirror, what should I tell myself about this tournament on how to be the best version of myself?
What do you see?
I see a warrior.
You see a warrior? Have warriors ever lost?
Some warriors have lost.
Yeah. How many games has Michael Jordan lost?
He's lost a lot of games.
Who had the most home runs in like baseball history before Barry Bonds in the steroid era?
I don't even know.
Babe Ruth. Who had the most strikeouts? Babe Ruth. Okay. So it's like, you're a warrior. You said, I see a warrior. Warriors learn more from losing than they do from winning. If you lose, it means it's going to speed you up to be a better warrior. If you win, you have proof you are a warrior. If you lose, it is better proof that you're a warrior. You are a warrior. You said, I see I am a warrior. Well, guess what? This is what warriors do. You don't need to win a tournament to be a warrior. You are a warrior because you saw that you're a warrior before the tournament even happened. If you're looking for the tournament to define you, then you're not a warrior. But you already saw that you're a warrior. So if something bad happens in the tournament, that's what warriors do. When I went to go do an Ironman, I had a doctor tell me, he said, Charlie, I need you to be realistic. I told him, I'm going to do an Ironman in 10 months. He said, Charlie, I need you to be realistic. I need you to set a goal so you don't let yourself down, like a smaller goal, a more realistic goal, so you don't let yourself down. I said, no. I said, I don't need to cross that finish line to be an Ironman. I am an Ironman today because I woke up and do what Ironmen do. That finish line, that's already done. It's going to be easy. But today, I am an Ironman. That is my identity. You are a warrior. And just know what comes with being a warrior. Winning and losing. That means you're a warrior. So the vision is the only thing that matters, not the tournament.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. Thank you, bro.
Of course,
Thank
of course.
you. Thank you, bro.
You know, I went to Muay Thai fight camp in Thailand.
Okay, tell me about that experience.
For 3 weeks, I learned I am not a fighter.
But what made you want to do it, though?
You know, I had a friend.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Muay Thai fighter, and he invited me, and I'm curious.
Me too.
So I went there thinking one thing, and I'm on Tiger Street in Phuket, and this is where all the Muay Thai fight camps are. And the most famous fight camp was Tiger Muay Thai. Mm. And so I'm expecting it to be one thing. But I get there and I saw love. It wasn't this like masculine, like intimidating world. I saw how everybody accepted everybody. There was an old lady and the most fit fighter like respected her. And I saw somebody like myself who was overweight and like kind of soft, like I'm like a teddy bear. But there was respect. And then I asked Sensei, I said, how are you doing today? And he said, always good. I was like, you don't have a bad day? He said, always good. I said, what about like great? He said, always good. He was just always right here. Mm. He wasn't good. He wasn't bad. He wasn't great. He wasn't bad. It was just always good. I was like, wow, like this isn't what I expected. I expected like, mm-hmm. And there's that. But there was also, I was like, so I learned some lessons about peace, love, and this wasn't even like a fight. This was more defense than even fighting. Thanks. And I was very inspired by what I saw. But I did learn when it was time to spar. I ain't built for sparring.
Yeah, sparring. I mean, I tell people all the time, like, bro, 2 minutes. People think that's like little time. 2 to 3 minutes, bro, and you're moving around, you're punching, you're getting hit. Bro, I respect the fight world so much since I've been doing it because I'm like, I jumped in there. I'm like, man, I do this jump. I got winded in like 30 seconds. I'm like, bro, nah, this is for real.
It's for real.
It just made me want to, I'm curious like you. Anything that I see, I have a addictive personality, bro. Mm-hmm. So once I start doing things, I heavily do it.
When's your birthday?
11/27. November 27th. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Are you Aries? I mean,
Sagittarius?
Sagittarius. Man, I get along great with Sagittarius.
For sure.
I love Sagittarius.
Man, for sure. Let me ask you a couple more questions. You emphasize delusional optimism, all right?
That's the secret.
How did adapting that mindset help you overcome obstacles during your transformation too as well?
Man, if there was something I could bottle up and give to somebody who was struggling, I would bottle up this thing called delusional optimism. Mm. To me, it's the most valuable asset or characteristic of a successful person. Being delusional in the pursuit of chasing a dream, nothing bad can happen. Nothing bad can happen. Everything is guaranteed to win when you're delusional. And so what you actually show up, you actually try when you're delusional. The whole world might be telling you to be realistic, but you don't even hear them. You know it's going to work. You know the finish line. And so I've always labeled myself as a delusional optimist, to where if I get diagnosed with a brain tumor, this is a gift. If I get fired, this is a gift. Even if like my grandfather dies of cancer, I have an angel. Means bad things might happen, but I'm looking for the good in the bad. While other people, a bad thing might happen and they stay in this negative loop for life. And then they just keep thinking, oh, bad things are probably supposed to happen to me. And so bad things start to happen and they believe that's the way it's supposed to be. So more bad things happen. But me as a delusional optimist, I expect something good to happen. And so I find it. And if something bad happens, I look at it as like a lesson learned. 2 L's, make a W. Yeah. I'm just still winning. Like I can't lose. And what a way to live life. To feel like nothing can make me lose. First question you asked me.
How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail?
I can't fail. So I do dream big. And that's why like I'm able to sit in this chair and tell you about all the different dreams I've been able to do. And I did them without money. And I did them without talent. And I did it without particularly looking the most handsome or the funniest or the most athletic, or like, it's because I'm a little delusional. And so I look at somebody like a Rich the Kid. And I saw that delusional optimism in him. We're over at Scores on the east side of Atlanta. And he wanted to always be around Travis Porter. He had just gotten out of jail. And he was this kid who was just so like, he would always be able to find his way into a situation. He never had like a reality measuring stick of like, am I bothering these people? No, he just knew what he wanted. He'll do whatever it was to get there. And then I saw him do it with the Migos. And then I saw him like start becoming like more famous than like even my groups. And I'm like, this was the guy who was sleeping on my business partner's couch, who was like walking down Panola Road, like to walk home to Marietta, like to get on the bus after the club. There's like going to wait for the train station to open so he can get back to Marietta. But he was like, had this like delusional optimism about his success. And he never really treated reality as reality. He just would find a way. And the only way you even show up to do that is if you are like a little delusional. And look at him. Like he's made a career out of himself when people like, you know, even myself like overlooked him, or maybe even like other record labels overlooked him. But he just found his own way, because you got to be a little delusional to fight through people overlooking you.
Wow. Dang. Man, Charlie, before we get out of here, I have a slogan that I always say: purpose over popularity. When I say that slogan, how can you mirror that around your life path?
Oh my goodness. I've always been called to purpose. Like when we had Dab and Santa, it's the first time I really saw like that come through my spirit. It's like we were making a lot of money in a very short period of time. And I told 2 Chainz, like, we need to start helping people. Like, there's a lot of money. And so we went on, and 2 Chainz loved the idea because he's a very giving person as well. And we went on to like give away houses and cars and things like that. And that felt so good, that purpose. It felt really good. So when I left the music industry and I started biking across America, I wanted to help people everywhere I went. And I got addicted to it. Like that feeling of like watching somebody's dream come true. And so purpose, man, for me, it's important to have like purpose mean a couple things. Like I'm chasing my purpose. And that's very important that like each one of us in our lives experiences our purpose before we leave this earth, because there will be a day where you're facing death and you're not going to think about the things you did. You're going to think about the purpose that you ignored. you're going to be like, there was something for me and I didn't get to experience it in this lifetime.
Wow.
So it's important for us to align with our purpose, but it's also important to have a purpose in giving back to others with our success. But it's okay to be selfish at first. Go get all your success, but make sure you don't keep it all for you. Reach your hand back. Have a bigger purpose than yourself. So purpose means a couple different things, but both are important.
Wow. My brother.
Come on, Vito.
Bro, this was really impactful, bro, and I'm glad we can share this space with each other and have this conversation, bro. It's been a long time, bro, but having this in-depth conversation, it was much needed for my life, bro, for real, for real.
I'm curious, what did you observe? Because you've always been a part of Atlanta's culture, but we never worked together.
Right.
But what did you observe from the outside looking in at everything we were doing, or even me? Because I don't know how people perceived me. And I've actually never asked somebody, how did they perceive me?
I'm not gonna lie, like CEO Charlie as the manager was like the ideal thing to have, like if the secret weapon to have. If you have CEO Charlie, the marketing, the brains, your brand, everything will go up. I have never seen you, and you probably said you experienced this. I have never seen a dud moment with anything that you touched. So I always looked at you in this kind of like light, like, bro, CEO Charlie, you know what I'm saying? Like a Gary V of the music industry, you know what I'm saying? And bro, I just admired the work ethic, you know what I'm saying? The artist, the quality of music you helped your artist put out. The marketing schemes behind everything was just to the T.
Like,
you know?
what?
Like, even like you said with the 2 Chainz album, the Pink album, the Pretty Girls Love Trap, like, bro, y'all had a pink car outside, like, what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, everything was magnified, you know what I mean? It was just, it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? So again, bro, I mean, I've seen Travis Porter go from, you know what I'm saying, just these guys that we will see like regular people from Atlanta to like the biggest in the world, bro.
Yeah.
That's massive, bro. Bankroll Fresh is my partner. You know what I'm saying? So I remember going to his grandmother's house. I remember him before him coming to Street Execs. I remember Young Fresh. He was grinding with Gucci Man and doing all of that stuff. He, like, bro, I used to go to his grandmother's house and eat. So seeing him go over there and then get his shot and y'all blew him up, you know what I'm saying? Of course he was working, but the backing and you blew him up. Like, that's like, bro, it was like the golden ticket. You go to Street Execs, you go to CEO Charlie, you have the golden ticket to be successful. It's only on you if you fail. That's how I looked at you. And like, yeah, bro, like I always looked at you like with respect, like, bro, like even from the day I seen you outside of Figure 8, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I always looked at you with respect. And I hope you felt that too, like even in our encounters every time I seen you.
Always. One thing I always thought about you is, because we encounter a lot of artists in Atlanta, but the thing I always noticed about you was your intellect. Man, you were one of the smart. I was telling my girlfriend as I was walking up, I was like, this guy's smart. You've always been smart. And there's something really big waiting for you. Big. Always has been. And I know you know it because you haven't given up. And so I know you know that there is something big waiting for me. And that's been that spirit that's kept you going. And I want to ask you, what's your big dream? The thing you deserve the most in this lifetime. Because I know that you deserve something big.
Absolutely. I want my voice, like, okay, so let's put it like this. I started making music, but me doing this, it allowed me to have my voice, like my voice respected in like a different way. I don't have to talk about bitches and hoes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Showcase all of that stuff. I don't have to do that anymore. Now, me having conversations and speaking life into people and people getting to see who I am, this is what I always wanted. Yeah. But sometimes you got to segue and take different routes. You know what I mean? So I think for me now, being a staple in Atlanta, people can believe and trust what I did because they seen me forever. They seen the people I worked with. I never had any bad things on my name or said about me.
Not one person has ever said anything bad about you, ever.
Right. So now I feel like my thing now is just to just be the staple point of Atlanta. People come to my show, you know what I'm saying? I give game. I have great conversations, and I want to be bigger than like Oprah, bro. I want to be big. I want to be bigger than life, bro.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with this. One, I think that's spot on point. And you're good at this. I watch every clip. They pop up on my timelines, everything.
Dope.
Remember some of the stories I told
Mm-hmm.
about the MySpace comments,
Mm-hmm.
about the passing out CDs or flyers. Atlanta is a small city. It is. And it's manageable. Everybody here knows everybody. And you can get to anybody. But think back on some of the stories I told. If CEO Charlie was managing you and your podcast, how would he do the marketing? How would he do the marketing? Because I'm an internet guy, but I'm as much of a physical guy as I am an internet guy.
Thanks.
So we had the MySpace popping, but we were also on the streets every day. We were everywhere. You walk out of a club, you see me every night for years. Or Tigo. Remember Tigo? Passing out the CDs every night. How would we do that marketing over at Street Execs? Write it down, man. That's where your answers are. Go take over. Be the biggest. Be the best. And when somebody is ready for their album promo, they know who to come sit down with because you cultivated the best community there is. But people need to see you everywhere. And I'm not just talking about Instagram timeline. They need to see you everywhere. People don't work hard like that in this city anymore. Why? The internet has made them lazy. If I was in this city, still doing music, I'd be outside. And the internet. Because I'm good at that too. But it's got to be both. Both got to connect.
Wow.
So man, go be the biggest. Go be the best to ever do it in this city. This city's never had a proper media outlet. And this is where all the entertainment is. But somebody's got to go work hard. And working hard is a lot more than just the internet. So go be everywhere, bro. All right?
Bro. Thank you, bro.
Of course, man.
Real talk, bro. Tell the people where they can find you.
On the internet.
Hey, man, it's been another episode of Vibin With Veto. You already know the slogan. We vibrating higher, always chasing purpose over popularity. Beautiful conversation, and we gone. Thank you.